Good evening. This will be quite a casual talk and aim mainly to my foreign friends and including the media, member of the media, international media or Thai media that may prefer some content in English, and also especially the diplomat or diplomatic call who often asks for the update. And I think this may be a good time, 35 days after the election, what happened in Thailand. And for those of you who are new to me or don't know me before, my name is Bo Natham-Hattana, and I'm one of the political activists, as you may call. My focus is on human rights and especially citizen right, and that's why democracy and politics is my interest. But that is not my profession. I am a teacher by profession. I'm teaching in a university as a special lecturer. So activism is something that I think I just did by chance because of the coup almost 5 years ago, and Thailand is under heavy oppression by the military junta, and we've been having our movement to call for the election. I have 5 political lawsuits against me, including 4 sedition cases, and the latest one is from the Election Commission for criticizing their work. So that is in a nutshell. 35 days after the election, what happened in Thailand also. Okay, let me spend just a minute to say hi to my friends in Thai สวัสดีทุกคนนะคะเดี๋ยวบอกขออนุญาตทำไลฟ์นี้ด้วยเนื้อหาเป็นภาษาอังกฤษเพราะว่าจะได้รับการร้องขอบ่อยครั้งว่าน่าจะมีการอัปเดตเป็นภาษาอังกฤษบ้างนะคะปกติแล้วนักการทูตหลายๆท่านก็จะโทรมาขออัปเดตสถานการณ์กันอย่างสม่ำเสมอแล้วก็สื่อต่างชาติก็อาจจะให้ความสนใจก็ถือว่าเป็นความเห็นของคนคนหนึ่งละกันแต่เดี๋ยวช่วงท้ายคลิปโบจะคุยกับทุกคนเป็นภาษาไทยถ้าใครคอมเมนต์เข้ามาก็คุยกันเป็นภาษาไทยได้นะคะก็ได้ทั้ง2ภาษานะโอเค what keep us many of us worry at the moment I think is the use of law as the weapon to go against the opposition whatever side you are in. The law is now the weapon to use against the opposite side, like the political parties. For example, the latest one happened to the leader of the Future Forward Party. You must have known that after the 24th of March election, none of the side, okay, we call democratic side and the dictator side, at least this is the language I use. The dictator side consists of the Palang Pracharat Party, the party that is set up by the group that support the junta and support Prayut to continue his power to become the next prime minister.The so-called democratic side consists of Pheu Thai Party and its allies. Pheu Thai won the most seats in the election, but at the moment the election result is not yet announced. After 35 days, the result is not yet announced, and both of the sides are trying to gather as many as possible for the coalition. What is happening now is, especially the junta side, they are trying to wipe out as many as possible the people who won the seat as the MP by using the technicalities of the law that is provided under this constitution. For example, the latest case now, the election law prohibits any of the political party member who want to run for the election cannot hold the share in the company that own media. The objective of the law is so that all the media are free from the influence of political party. Okay, and that's the objective, the purpose of the law. But what happened in Thailand is that when you register a company, any company, you have the right to list down many objectives that the company will be allowed to run. And for example, I may want to do an import-export company. When I register a company, I may list down other objectives that I'm not intending to do the business in that field. I may list that, okay, this company should be able to run the media business. This company should be able to run a restaurant or a hospitality business. And there can be many objectives that is listed when you register a company, no matter what business you actually going to do. And this is the common practice in Thailand. And for those of you who used to register a company, you would know that any owner of the company will want to list as many as possible of the objectives that the law allow, so that maybe in the future you may want to do that business. So there are many politicians and those who runs in the election who own the company, and those companies are not doing any media business, but in the registration of the company, the media business is listed as one of the objectives. Now, in order for anyone who wants to bring down the people who won the seats already from the election, they will use this technicality to sue those people, and so that they can be banned from going to the parliament. And this is what happening to Thanathorn Jingrungrungkit, the leader of the Future Forward Party. Okay, his company, actually there's a little difference in his case, because the company he used to hold a share actually used to run a media business, used to actually have the media business. It was a magazine like celebrity, high society, lifestyle kind of magazine. But that magazine had stopped publication around 2 years ago. By the time he sold the share in that company, from that company sold the share to his mother, that publication is not in the market, has not been in the market for as long as 2 years. Now, the person who sued him against this, using this issue to sue him so that he won't be able to be the legal to he would be illegal to go into the parliament. Use the fact that on the date that he sold the share, it may be too late according to what the law requires. Okay, that fact is to be investigated. But my point is, Thailand is under the context where anyone will want to sue anyone using the legal technicalities to bring them down, to wipe them out from the politics field. And when this happens, it will happen from both sides. So now, even before the official election result is announced, this is what's happening. We are within these 5 years, the law is used for political purpose. Too much for the country to bear, too much for the country to move forward. Before this, the law is used to suppress public opinion. I told you I have 5 cases myself, and there are many people, including activists, politicians, academics, and common people who are sued because the junta want us to shut up. and not to criticize them, and not to have any political assembly, and not to campaign against, for example, for the constitution referendum. So over the last 5 years, it was used to suppress the people. Now after the election, it is like it's up level. Now it is used mainly for politicians. And it is used also by politicians themselves against each other. So if the court is not careful, if the court knows that it is used as the weapon, the people in the legal system know. But if they are willing to be used, if they are willing to be part of it, Thailand will not be able to move forward. We may be left with only half of the people who were elected, and we may have to do a lot of re-election before the 9th of May, which will be the date that the election result is to be announced. So this worry me most. On top of that, or alongside with that, there was a very worrying act issued by the parliament that we have now, the parliament without opposition. It is called, I think in English it should be called Information Intelligence Act. The law allowed the government officers, the security officers, to go into your every system of your communication online, hack your information if they think you are the threat to the national security. And this clause is very vague, as you know. For example, me myself is in the list of national security. So at the moment they can go into my line, WhatsApp if they could, Messenger, email, phone calls, everything, because the law allow any use of any technical use, any high-tech innovation to hack into your system and to get your information. So that act is issued around 2 weeks ago. That is also the threat to any international business or international operation in Thailand, because who want their information to be hacked, right? For such reason that you cannot verify, and that the court will not take part in allowing that operation to happen, to take place. So alongside with the use of the law as the weapon for the opposition in your politics agenda, there is the act that violate human rights, that violate your privacy. All this together make the future of Thailand very gloomy at the moment. I don't have the answer to this kind of problem yet. What I'm hoping is that the court especially, and also people in the judicial system, to stop being used and to judge any case having the purpose of the law in mind, and not allow the technicalities to be the main focus, and allowed it to be used as political weapon. So that's my take, and I'm not sure how or how much international community could have a say on this. I know that European Union is very concerned about what took place after the election. I know many of the democratic countries are worried, and many embassies also experience how the current government treat you, especially on the day that Thanathorn, before this case that I told you, there was another case that he was charged, and on the day he reported himself at the police station, around 12 embassies agency were there for the observation, and after that the Ministry of International Affairs, the minister himself is very pissed and call for all the ambassadors to see him and tell him bluntly that this should not happen again, and that international community should not interfere with our democratic issue, blah blah blah. We all know that the international community take interest on this kind of issue because it is human rights, and human rights is for everyone to be part of, and for everyone to protect together. And I hope that we all see the real problem together, and if there can be any input to make things better, that would be good. But for now, we just keep the communication going, we just keep the conversation going, and I'll try to have this kind of casual update from time to time, so we are on the same track. I know Envoys would have maybe even better update and more real-time update, but international communities or even foreign friends, if you are interested in politics, in human rights, in bringing a country, in any country in the world, back to the track for democracy, that would be good for the whole world as a global citizen. So any opinion will be welcome, and we'll keep conversation going. So that's my take for today, and I'm now going through the comments and the question, and maybe any opinion you may have, and let me do it in both languages. Carla, hi. Do you expect the Future Forward Party to be banned, or just the two party leaders? I don't expect anyone to be banned. I do expect the Palang Pracharat Party to be banned, and I did have submitted my request for the Election Commission to investigate a few wrongdoing that the party did that may lead to the ban of the party. But if they take that case to their consideration, they try hard. The junta, together with the agency under their control, including the Election Commission, try very hard to bring down politicians, key politicians, and the political parties on the democratic side. They are now under many problems. But I don't think they can bring them down very easily, because Future Forward Party is very straightforward, assertive, and proactive in handling this case. They keep the communication with the public, and that means the public will take their side if they agree with the reasons that they bring up, and why they should be treated as innocent. So I don't think it's very easy to bring down either the two leaders of the party or the party itself. And especially the issue that they use now about the company registration, about company that has a media business under the objectives when they register, because every parties have the members who own companies and who have these kind of objectives in that list. And if they make the Future Forward Party leader guilty, if they make Thanathorn guilty, they will have to make many other people guilty, and that I think will be too much of the problem for anyone. And that's why I'm calling for the court to look at the objectives of the law rather than allowing technicalities to um, over overshadow the main purpose of the law and do the wrong thing to the country สวัสดีค่ะขอบคุณคุณตาหน่วยนะคะโอเคไม่ค่อยมีคำถามนะขอบคุณสำหรับทุกคำทักทายนะคะวันนี้พรรคอนาคตใหม่ก็ได้มีการจากที่ได้มีการร้องขอให้นับคะแนนใหม่ที่จังหวัดเขต 1ของนครปฐมนะคะก็วันนี้ก็มีการนับคะแนนใหม่กันที่นั่นนะไม่รู้ว่าผลเป็นยังไงบ้างนะคะคุณสุชัยถามว่า what should we do what should we do good question I think when we are abused what we do is we fight and there are many ways of fighting in fighting with the tyrannies in fighting with the military junta like this usually people will have to have the assembly have to protest so there will be enough force to fight with them there will be enough interest for the agenda that we want to communicate but over the last 5 years Thailand is suppressed activists are suppressed by the use of judicial harassment. The society is made to believe that political assembly is something to be avoided, that political assembly equals chaos, equal violence, which is not. But now we are at the stage that the assembly is discouraged. So maybe we have to find other ways to fight back. One thing is to use the same, like to also use law against them. Yeah, I'm just saying that law should not be used as political weapon, but when it is already used, we have to make the field equal by using it against the other side also. Otherwise, we cannot compete. But on the other hand, we have to communicate the principle and so that to drive the society thought in the same direction. And the people who will have most influence in driving social thought, in driving the ideas and lead the agenda will be academics and the media. And yeah, and this is what I said several times. I want to see more voices from them. So any communication channel that allow that to take place, be it seminar, be it Facebook Live like this, be it a meeting or any kind of event that any embassy may hold, or the communication through international media. I think altogether, if there's enough number of people who do it, or we may be able to drive the nation up to the point that there is some consensus that some wrongdoing must be stopped. And I don't know when that will take place, but I think we have to keep putting the effort in order to see some change. คุณดำรงฤทธิ์บอกว่าผมตัดสินใจแล้วผมจะอยู่สู้ต่อไปครับเราต้องได้ประชาธิปไตยเราคืนมาโมจำได้ว่าคุณดำรงฤทธิ์เคยเข้ามาทักว่ารู้สึกเหมือนกับค่อนข้างจะหมดหวังกับประเทศนี้เรารู้สึกไม่อยากอยู่ที่นี่แล้วอะไรอย่างเงี้ยค่ะซึ่งตอนนั้นโบก็ได้ตอบไปว่าโอเคถ้าคุณก็อายุอย่างน้อยถ้ายังไม่มีภาระครอบครัวหรืออะไรที่จะต้องจำเป็นต้องดูแลอยู่ที่นี่เนี่ยมีโอกาสไปเมืองนอกก็ไปเลยมันก็คงดีกว่าแน่ๆอะไรอย่างเงี้ยนะคะแต่วันนี้ก็ได้บอกว่าจะอยู่สู้ต่อไปเราต้องได้ประชาธิปไตยเราคืนมาก็ดีใจนะคะถ้ามีคนมาสู้ด้วยกันเยอะๆนะโบก็เชื่อว่า โบก็เชื่อว่ามันจะเกิดขึ้นนะคะคนที่น่าจะเป็นกังวลแล้วก็กลัวกว่าเราเพราะว่าคือคนที่ต้องการจะสืบทอดอำนาจแล้วมันไม่มีเหตุผลที่ชอบธรรมพอที่จะตอบตัวเองด้วยซ้ำไปเขาก็เลยต้องมีพฤติกรรมแปลกๆต่างๆนานาแต่สำหรับเราที่เชื่อมั่นในวิถีทางว่ากำลังทำสิ่งที่ถูกต้องเนี่ยถ้าเกิดว่าลงมือกันจริงๆมันจะมีพลังกว่าเยอะนะโอเคก็ขอบคุณทุกคนที่มาทักทายนะคะวันนี้มาไลฟ์ในเพจนี้คนจะดูน้อยกว่าเวลาไลฟ์ในเพจส่วนตัวถ้าใครคิดว่าเป็นประโยชน์ก็ฝากช่วยกันแชร์ไปนะคะเผื่อจะมีบทสนทนาเพิ่มเติมจากคอมเมนต์ที่โบจะเข้ามาตอบทีหลังแล้วก็มาคุยกันได้ต่อในคอมเมนต์นะคะโอเควันนี้เท่านี้ก่อนแล้วเดี๋ยวจะหาเวลามาคุยกันเรื่อยๆค่ะสวัสดีค่ะ